Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This little workshop, this little series of exercises has been designed to address all of those clicks, pops, snaps that you might be hearing in your hips when you're doing Pilates exercises or maybe other exercises. This is a really gentle, really simple series of movements, really designed to create more connection, more stability, and a better sense of groundedness through your hip. It is designed to be accessible to everyone, so take your time through it. If anything feels too much, slow it down. I'll give you modifications as we go. And it's really important to remember as well that this isn't designed to replace your physiotherapy exercises or to replace the advice of a medical professional if you are experiencing any pain in your hips. So if you're experiencing pain, I would encourage you to go ahead and get that checked out. Otherwise, let's go ahead and see, can we make those hips feel just a little happier? All you're going to need today is a mat or something you can lie on that feels a little cushiony. We're going to go ahead, get moving, and see how we feel at the end of it. Let's try and move on the mat. So go ahead, take yourself to lie all the way down, and just let yourself drop. Let yourself relax down into the mat. Remember, we spend our days meeting gravity. Gravity is always trying to push us down. And we do such a good job holding ourselves up against gravity that sometimes it can be nice to just let ourselves drop. Let the weight of your body settle back into the mat, easy breathing. And I always like to approach these sessions not as exercise sessions, but as movement sessions. And I always think, what do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? For me, in my hips, I want to feel connected, I want to feel grounded, and I want to feel smooth. You pick your own thing. Maybe you want to feel snug in that hip joint connection. Maybe you want to feel loose. Maybe you want to feel relaxed. Maybe you want to feel spacious. Maybe you want to feel light and bouncy through your hips. Think of a way that you would like to feel, and then as we move through the sequence, I want you to channel that feeling through those hips. We're going to relax all the way down onto the mat, and we're going to start to just rock your pelvis forwards and backwards. So you'll notice I'm taking the weight back towards my lower back and then towards my tailbone. Really good. As I move, you'll notice that my spine is moving as I rock my pelvis. My ribs are moving as well. That pelvis is connected onto your spine and into your ribs. So it's only normal that when you move one structure that attaches to the spine, like your pelvis, everything else gets moved as well. And really let that happen. Really allow that movement the whole way through the body to create that sense of ease, that sense of space, that sense of connection, top, body, and sides. All right, let that settle whenever you're ready. And we're going to go ahead and draw a circle with the pelvis. So you're massaging out that pelvis on the mat. You get your low back in a little bit. What we're doing here is sliding the socket around the top of that thigh bone, around the ball. Getting just a little bit of slidey, glidey movement, lubrication for the joint. Go ahead and reverse it. If you've been to a Pilates class, you might have heard this described as a pelvic clock. These are so good. Really good for even starting your core work. Really good for building connection from the ground all the way up. We're breathing the whole time here, nice and relaxed in the breath. Let's do one more. And let it go. We're going to find the feet on the mat. And all I want you to do is press your feet down, 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 as if you're trying to send an imprint of your foot down into the floor. And then let it go. And do that again. Just notice what happens. Pay attention now to your body. Good. And relax. When I press my feet through the floor, my pelvis starts to feel weightless. It starts to feel like the muscles in the back of my leg kick in. Notice that I don't need to squeeze or clench or grip or do anything to those muscles. When I send energy through my feet, those muscles are going to activate. Keep that press now. I want you to start to send your thigh bones, your knees over your toes. That's going to pick your pelvis and your spine off the mat. And then when you're ready, drop back down, starting with the breastbone and release. Keep that going. Stand into your feet, reach your knees over your toes. Excellent. We're going to create a sense of openness in the front of the hip, and then come all the way back down. Really good. Pause it for a sec. What I want you to remember is that it's not a normal bridge like you might have seen in a gym setting or in a yoga setting. Yoga tends to be a little bit more back bendy in a bridge. The gym is a little bit more about your glutes. In this instance, I want to feel fluidity. I want space in that front of your hip. Really nice. You're going to keep that going. I want you to see that connection to this kind of movement. I'm moving my knee away from my pelvis. I'm doing the same thing in a bridge. This is the work. Amazing. So this is how I start to build connection, openness, a willingness of those hip flexors to lengthen and the back body, glutes, back and hamstrings to work. You might be feeling your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs. They might be stinging at you. That is absolutely fine. Reach. Really good. Knees reaching forwards. We stand in the feet. The ball of that thigh bone rolls in that hip socket, and then the weight of the thigh bone pours back down to the pelvis. We're going to come up and we're going to stay on this one. All we're going to do is inhale your arms overhead, exhale your arms down. Inhale overhead. Standing equally into both feet. We're going to do that 3 times. Press. And 2 times. Keep lifting your tail. 1 more time. We reach. We press. We drop the chest bone through the shoulder blades to return to the mat. Excellent. Stay there. Press your right foot down into the mat. Roll the left leg in towards the chest. Lower with control. And take it back in. Lower it away. Excellent. And take it back in. Make this as easy as possible. I want you to continue to ask yourself in these movements, how can I make it easier? How can I do less to achieve more? Sometimes we work too hard. We create tension, we create resistance in that body, and then everything tightens, and then we start to feel clicking or popping, or just a little bit too much work. 1 more. So we're going to go opposite leg. Same thing. I send 1 foot through the floor, the other leg starts to roll. So it's really good. Again, you guys are just recalibrating the hips. We're creating that sense of gliding movement in that pelvis. So nice. 1 more time. Excellent. Really good. Stay here. I'm going to take 1 leg and I'm going to slide it out the length of the mat. And I'm going to roll it all the way back to you. Slide it again. We're going to slide with the hip. Similar to a single leg stretch movement, like you would do in Pilates, but you've got the support of the floor. Really good. Let's do that 1 more time. Slide it away. Super. Take it back. Let's swap legs. Slide it away. Just tuning into your movement, to your body, to your breath. Keep dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Let's do that 1 more time. And come back in. Excellent. We're going to press the feet gently together, thighs together, knees together, zip up your legs. When you're ready, we're going to take 1 leg. I'm going to roll it out. And then roll it back in. Super. Again, roll that leg away. And what we're going to do here is think about that sense of lengthening in the inseam of the leg. Sometimes a super tight inner thigh, which a lot of us are quite tight in those inner thighs, can affect how stable that hip is. We're going to release it out here a little bit. Think fluid, think soft. Don't push it. Once more, and I want you to stay out there. We're on the baby toe side of the foot. We're going to slide the leg, take it back to parallel and in. So kneecap turns out to the side, slide the leg away. Turn your kneecap to the ceiling, slide it in. We're going to do that 3 more times. Good. So we're just really moving through that hip. 2 more. Reach it in and back. Last one out. Slide in and stay. Let's do 1 last one for luck. Slide in and stay. We're going to take that opposite leg, let it reach out to the side, and go ahead and take it back. Really good. Again, leg slides open, nice, and take it back. Remembering how you want to feel in your hip. Easy, free, fluid, connected. Let's do that one more time. Stay up there. We're going to slide the leg down, back to parallel, slide it in, out, slide, parallel, return. Really good. 3 more times. Slide, parallel, return. 2 more, out. Slide, parallel, return. 1 time, out. Slide, parallel, and stay. Go ahead and take one knee in towards you. I want you to take that same hand onto your kneecap. Gently press the knee down. If you want to use 2 hands here, might be nice to feel a little bit of extra weight and relax. Gently push your thigh bone deeper into that hip socket. Gently is the word here. Don't push too hard. 1 more. Nice. Good. And now I want you to start to stir that thigh bone in its hip socket. So reminiscent of a single leg circle here. And you're not going to push into a range where it clicks or pops. Keep it really small. You can be tracing around a pencil. It doesn't matter. Just make it really tiny until you feel a little bit more secure to go into a bigger range. And reverse it. Same thing in that opposite direction. Your hands and that pressure, just giving your leg a little bit more feedback. Really good. Let's do that one more time. Super. Go ahead and pop that foot down. Nice. Opposite leg, hands on the knee. So I'm going to take one hand, other hand on top of it. Gently press that thigh bone down into its socket and relax it. 2 more. Gentle press and release. Last one. Little gentle press. Release. Go ahead and start to stir that thigh bone in the socket. Opposite foot just drops through the mat. Really good. Nice. Reverse it. Really good. Let's do that one more time. And pause. Good. Go ahead and bend the knees into you. Hug the knees in. And let's circle both legs around, massaging out that lower back on the mat. Amazing. Reverse it. Opposite direction. Super. Good. And pause. We're going to take your hands behind your thighs. We're going to imagine you're wearing leg boots. Press your thigh bones into your fingers and roll yourself all the way up. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and come onto all fours here. We're going to have the hands somewhere under the shoulders. If you've got anything going on in your wrists, take your hands a little further away to take the pressure off. And all we're going to do, you can have feet relaxed or feet tucked under. We're just going to sit the hips back. Widen your seat bones here. Try not to round the back. Try to be really open and come forward. So what we're going to do is keep a sense of length in the spine, and we're just hinging in the hips. If you imagine, this is almost like sitting into a squat and then standing up. Except obviously you're on all fours. You've got the support of the floor here. Let's do 3 more times. Really good. 2 more times. Sit back. Super, and come forward. Last one. Press. Really good. We're going to take it to the right. Circle and around. Circle and around. We are again stirring that hip, that thigh bone in that hip socket. Feeling all that beautiful glide, all that really lovely movement. Well done. Now you're flexing with me. Let's do 2. And let's do 1. And reverse. And this is the kind of movement that your body craves, that it is shouting out for. We want to avoid any really deep stretching, especially if we're feeling tension or tightness. And I know that might sound counterintuitive, but if your body feels tense or tight, let's not add any more tension or tightness to it. Let's give it a movement. Let's give it simple gliding movement that's going to make it feel really nice. Whenever you're ready, pause it in the middle. Really good. We're going to round and release, like you're nodding your pelvis. Perfect. This is exactly like what you did at the very beginning, except now instead of lying on your back, you're on all fours. Notice how I'm not quite coming into cat-cow stretch, but I am allowing my ribs and my pelvis and my head to move. 1 more. All right. We're going to start to circle. Really good. Again, as I circle the pelvis, Know that I'm allowing my ribs to move, and I would encourage you to do the same. My shoulders are getting a little bit of a wiggle as well. Remembering here that this is less movement. This isn't exercise per se, so it doesn't have to look perfect. Really good. Reverse it. This isn't a gymnastics routine, and we're not entering the Olympics. We just want to start to feel really good. We want to feel easy, fluid, moving in our bodies. One more time. Good. Pause it in the middle. Let yourself sort of recalibrate to a long slide. We're going to take one leg. We're going to slide it away, and we're going to take it back. Same leg. Notice how my foot stays on the floor. Reach. Good. This is also a nice exercise for starting to open the ankle without putting too much pressure on it. Often, when we're tight in the hips, we can be super tight in our ankles as well. Good. One more time, stay there. We're going to just pick the leg up. My foot's going to stay lower than my bum, and there. Breathing easy. Good. I want you to think, create a sense of openness in that hip. We're going to do that 2 more times. Really nice, guys. 1 more. You got it. Take it down. Draw the knee. Nice and slow. I'm going to start to just draw a circle. Now mine looks more like an oval than a circle. That's fine. Good. Reverse it. I always say here at Flex in the City, in the studio, I don't care if it's a triangle, as long as it feels good to you. In this instance, again, remember, it doesn't need to look a perfect way. Stay there. Sit back into your heels and let's stretch. We're in a deep hip position here. Just breathe into it. Nice big breath in. And nice deep breath out. Go ahead, take your time, back up onto all fours. We're going to do the same with the other leg. Slide it, return. Notice how still the rest of my body is staying relative to that slidey leg. This isn't really what happens in real life, but we just want to start to give that nervous system a chance to learn things under a little bit more control. Hold this one out here. Leg lifts, leg lowers. Really good. Find your breathing. Again, tightness in your wrists. Hands can go a little further forwards without affecting the exercise. Do that 2 more times. Really good. Once more. Take it in. Leg slides in and just circle. Again, with the foot on the floor, your body's getting that little bit more feedback, which is so beneficial for that nervous system to learn, to create a little bit more stability in the hip without that pressure. Reverse it. Good. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more and pause. We're going to tuck the toes under. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Roll yourself into this deep squat. Now, you might start to feel a little tightness in the fronts of your shins. Absolutely normal. Or even the backs of your calves. We're working those ankles here as well. Start to walk the hands out. Remember what I said. Sometimes hip sort of tightness or stiffness can be related to what's going on in the ankle. Because as we have to remember, we interact with the world, with our surroundings, through our hands and through our feet. Our foot strikes the floor how many times every day? If we take 10,000 steps a day, 20,000 steps a day, 5,000 steps a day, it doesn't matter. But that's the amount of times that your foot hits the floor and then sends that force of the floor up through the body. And that force lands in the hip. And so what happens in the foot and the ankle happens in the hip as well. Good. Let's do that 1 more time. Nice. Stay here for me. I know this is a tough position for most of us, but those heels can be lifted. Lift yourself, lift your chest feet in this squat. How deep is that hip? So good for you. Just breathe into it. In 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Walk yourself back down and relax. We are going to leave your movement there for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it beneficial. Those exercises form the basic layer, the foundational layer of exercises that we use here at Flex in the City with our clients when they come in experiencing tightness in their hips and restriction in their hips, or hips that make noises, that click, that pop, that don't feel very stable when they're doing those core abdominal exercises that you'll see in Pilates classes and in a lot of other movement sequences. If you would like access to exercises, then please email us hello@flexinthecity.ie and we will absolutely chat to you about what will suit you best going forward, what exercises you need to make even more progress. As I say, those exercises that we did today are designed to be suitable for everyone and start really nice and easy to create a little bit more stability and a little bit more centeredness and connectedness from your hip into the rest of your body. As we move through those levels, this was level 1, as we move into level 2, level 3 of those exercises, they start to become a little bit more challenging as your body is prepared for them. Any questions, make sure to get in touch. You can do these times a week. You can do them every day if you like and if you have the time, or pick the ones out of the sequence that really suited you. Do them every day. They're not like traditional exercises like lunges or squats where your body's under pressure. This is the movement that your body needs and craves to just feel really free and to function really well in your everyday life. I hope you enjoyed and I look forward to seeing you online or in person in the studio soon.